Hey guys, welcome back to the Girlfriends and Goals podcast YouTube channel. My name is Samaria, and I'm joined by my best friend and co-host Miyosha. And today we're doing another Am I the A-hole reaction video. So if you like these types of videos, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and meet us in the comments to let us know what you think about these scenarios. All right, let's get into the first one. This says, am I the a hole for refusing to call my friend's baby by his first name when she named him after my ex? So, one of my 25 female closest friends, 24 female, and her boyfriend, 25 male, recently welcomed a baby boy. Out of all the names they could have landed on, they decided to name him Luca after my ex, Luke. Luke and I broke up several months ago, and it wasn't an amicable end to the relationship. However, Luke and my friend's boyfriend are best friends and workmates, and they used to live together before Ben moved in with his girlfriend, so they're extremely close. Apparently, close enough for Ben to suggest naming his son after him. My friend knows our relationship didn't end well, so I was pretty hurt when I found out she was honoring him by naming her son after him. She told me that Luca was a name she'd loved forever and that Luke is someone who is really important, a really important part of Ben's life, so the name just made sense. I don't understand why they couldn't honor any other male in either of their lives, such as their fathers or brothers, or even just use Luca as a middle name, but I can't change their opinion, so whatever. I don't want to be reminded of my ex every time I see my friend's baby. So instead, I decide to call him Jamie whenever I'm playing with him from his middle name, James. Okay, sorry. I even made him a blanket embroidered with that nickname. I don't see a problem because I think it's perfectly normal for people to have nicknames that are only used by one person. Even for myself, my uncle has his own nickname for me that no one else uses. But my friend got upset when she saw the blanket and heard me addressing him by that name, saying it was childish and disrespectful and it was erasing part of her son's identity. I asked her what she expected from me after naming her son after my ex, and she told me I was being self centered and that just because I had a bad relationship with Luke doesn't mean she or Ben did. So I can't expect her to take into account my feelings with everything related to her son. I think that not naming her son after a person who I just ended a long term relationship with is not a far fetched request at all. And her violating that request is just an invitation for me to address her son by whatever nickname I choose. Also, it's worth noting that me and Luke were together before her and Ben were. So it's not like she had known Luke for a long period of time or had any sort of relationship or interactions with him before I started dating him. So am I the a hole?
You started off this letter with, so one of my closest friends. Is it?
Define close.
Yes, you are the a-hole and you have a lot of audacity
First of
to
all,
be called.
no, you finished. Sorry.
No, go girl, go. Go.
The baby's middle name is James, and now she's calling him Jamie. So not only are you not addressing him by his first name, which is what you're supposed to address him by, but you're not even addressing him by his middle name. You've made up a nickname from the middle name, talking about, like, I have an uncle. Are you the baby's uncle? You are not. And the mom has told you, hey, I don't want you calling my child that. So whether your uncle calls you a different nickname or not, the mom has set a boundary that you need to respect.
And since when is Luca and Luke the same name?
Girl.
Luca versus Luke. To
Mhm.
me, and y'all tell me in the comments, those are two completely different names.
I think they may mean the same thing. Like Luca might be a different language or something.
Still different names.
It is.
It's like saying Ashlyn versus Ashley. Those are different names to me.
Yeah.
While they may have the beginning that's the same,
Yeah.
those are very different names. And then you have the Jamie versus James.
She needs to have her own baby or her own niece or nephew and nickname them. That's
And
what
then
she.
even the story she tells about the uncle of, oh, one of my uncles used to call me by a completely different name. I think most people have the understanding that when babies are small, parents, maybe grandparents, may give them a little nickname.
Yeah.
As children get, but for the most part, you try to use their actual name. One, so they can know their name, how to spell it, pronounce it, all those things. Correct teachers at school if they need to. And then at a certain age, yeah, your auntie or cousins may call you little whatever. And if
Right.
your parents are good with it, then it sticks. But with a baby that was just born, you're choosing to call him a completely different name. And it's not like, oh, hey, Pooh Bear,
That's the thing.
a
The intention.
actual different name altogether.
Exactly. So that's my thing, is the intention behind the nickname. So when I nickname my nieces or my friends' kids, right?
Mhm.
It's out of love, it's like cuteness, whatever.
Mhm.
It's a very different agenda than, oh, well, you named him after an ex of mine. And so in protest, I'm not gonna, like, you can't give a baby a nickname out of protest. That would make me be like, I don't want you in the baby's life, period. Because, girl, you standing on business for the wrong things.
It feels very controlling
Mhm.
in that you don't really value this friendship. It also seems like you may think that they're valuing their friendship with Luke
Mhm.
versus the friendship that they may have had with you. But why is it their business how bad or good your breakup was or wasn't?
And so they're 25, 24. I
Mhm.
think she needs to grow up. Like, relationships don't, most relationships don't last forever, right? Like, a lot of people, they marry the person, but they've had maybe three, four, five relationships before then. So even for people who are successfully married in their lifetime, most of their relationships have not worked, right?
Mhm.
So let's be really for real here and understand that relationships end. But just because your relationship with this person has ended, that doesn't mean that their relationship, your friend's relationship with them has to end as well. Um, Now I can understand, based on how the breakup went, like if he was abusive to her, if he cheated on her, if he was moving kind of shady, if so I can understand her feeling like, I don't love the fact that they're still friends with him because he
Mhm.
mistreated me. Perfectly normal, but you don't then get to dictate how other people live their lives. If that's not something that you are comfortable with, it is
Mhm.
okay to remove yourself from that situation. Like, he dogged me out, he did this, and I didn't appreciate it. So I don't want to be in the space where I'm confronted by things that have to do with him all the time.
Yeah, she said, "I don't wanna be reminded of my ex every
Yeah.
time I see my baby's friend," but
Mhm.
I think you're also reminding yourself by purposefully calling him a different name that's not even his middle name. So, like, subconsciously, it's reminding you, like, yeah, you're thinking, "Oh, I'm calling him Jamie," but nobody else is calling him that. So that means when you're around the baby and other people, you're having to think to yourself, "Oh, I'm not calling you Luca like you hear everyone else calling,
Yeah.
the baby. I have to call you Jamie because of this guy."
She's doing the most. Yeah, she has to grow up, honestly. That's what it comes down to. Like, you cannot dictate. And she said that in here, like, I can't change their mind, so whatever.
So
Okay,
.
you can't change their mind, like, to get something embroidered with a name that's not this baby's name. Let's be for real.
And did she get James or Jamie?
Jamie. She got Jamie embroidered.
I think the friend would be more understanding if you gave the baby a cutesy nickname.
Yes.
Like, and even then, as a parent, you reserve the right to be like, "I don't like that.
You
Call
gonna
him
put my
something
baby with
else."
that name? Yeah. I don't really jive with that.
Mm-mm. Yeah, y'all let us know in the comments. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't be dictating what people name their kids. You shouldn't be calling them a completely different name. That's none of the names that they were given at birth.
You have no right to protest what someone else names their child.
Yeah, this is, yeah, I don't know that you want this to be a close friend anymore. So end it.
Period.
Let's get into the next one. Am I the a-hole because I refuse to split food bill equally and instead got my own bill? I have two friends who eat out a lot. I mean, at least 1.5 times my portion. So after a few times, I started to feel ripped off. So the next time I told them a BS reason, I am not hungry because I already ate something, or I just don't feel like eating beef or pork, but can have vegetarian, knowing they won't order it. But then once they had ordered their meal, I would head to the cashier to buy my own food because I feel a bit hungry now. Obviously, I was hungry the whole time. However, they still added the bill on me and expected me to add my bill on them. So it gets split 3 ways. I said no and refused and simply stated I bought my own food. Am I the a-hole?
Oh, I don't know. That is a passive aggressive way of dealing with it. It feels. I think it's your money, so you reserve the right to spend it how you want to. If you don't want to split the bill, as common as it is, and as much as I would probably go along with it, I completely understand you have to protect your budget at all costs, right? And so I don't think this person is the a hole. I just think they could have communicated it differently or declined the invitation to eat out with these people.
Yeah, because I think they're used to things being a certain way. And by you not communicating it, I could see how they'll be like, oh no, just add it all in there. Like
Right.
what's different now because you didn't say anything. And
Exactly.
so they're wondering what's the problem. Also, a bit odd that you would still come out to eat and not eat, but then be like, "Oh, I'm hungry now."
Yeah,
Come on.
the way that you handle, like, protect your money. It's
Yeah.
your money. You can't like let people bully. It doesn't sound like they were trying to bully. It sounds like you said, they're just used to things being a certain way. But you can't spend more than you can afford just because you're trying to eat out and keep up with the Joneses. So I respect wanting to honor your budget. Just I think this could be fixed with simple communication.
And when I hear situations like this, because I picked this particular
I
Reddit post
figured.
for a reason, because it seems to be a point of contention where people go out to eat as a group. You know, you have some people who drink, some people don't. Some people want 2 appetizers. Some people don't want anything but their dessert and their entree or just their entree. Everyone's ordering in a different way. The end of the night comes or the bill comes and there's this expectation. Okay, one, the restaurants too, they want you to split everything. They don't want to go through the hassle of this, and this, and that,
Yeah.
split amongst 15 people. But assuming you're in a scenario of 3 people where it's not that complicated and the restaurant is willing to do it, some people are like, oh, why do you need to split the bill? We're all friends and whatever. And some people are like, no, I saw you had 3 Long Islands and I don't feel like paying for your drinks.
Yeah.
And so I can kind of see it both ways. One thing I would ask is, if you're friends with these people, do you think that they're asking to split it intentionally? Like, do
Right.
you think that they're trying to get off on you? Because you said, so after a few times I started to feel ripped off.
Hmm.
Okay, you felt that way, but is that what you think they intended?
Right.
Because I know I've been in a situation where maybe I went out to eat with friends and I wasn't as hungry. So I didn't order anything too elaborate just because I wasn't as hungry. But I didn't think too much into it that my friends got normal meals because they
Yeah.
were hungry, mainly because I know, like, oh, we go out to eat enough to where things always just kind of shake out. And I know that they're not going to be like, oh, give me the prime rib that's $100 and
That.
I'm over here ordering like a $15 plate. Like usually it equals out, so I don't feel away. But I think you should ask yourself, like, what do you think the intentions of these friends are? And whenever I see these viral videos where people are like, oh, we're not gonna split it and all this
Yeah.
stuff, it makes me think like, okay, maybe you don't have the type of relationship with these
With these.
people, to where you may feel like, oh, you are trying to get off on me. I don't know that I would be frequently going out to eat with people where I had to question, like, oh, are you trying to get over on me? Or I
Mhm.
would just know, like, oh, okay, maybe I paid this time, you'll pay next time. Like, I don't get in the nitty gritty of,
Yes.
heck, some of my friends, I don't mind paying all the time if I want your company, like, to be out with me. It's,
Oh, really? Okay, girl. When's the next brunch?
But I say that to say that I don't know. If it's within my budget, I definitely get like, okay, you don't want to overdo it. We all have budgets.
Right.
But if I'm out with you, I'm not getting into the nitty-gritty
Yeah.
of it unless I'm like, I don't really mess with you. I don't really know you like that. So of course I don't feel the need to pay for your food.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ah.
But you guys let us know what you think. I know this particular topic is a controversial one on the internet, and I think it should be because everybody's pocket isn't the same. Some people are in their careers and they have been for a while. Some
Mhm.
people might have gone back to school and now they're just getting back on their feet. Some people are still in school. So I think everybody just has to be mindful with the
Mhm.
whole splitting the bill conversation. Now, if you go to somebody's like birthday dinner, I would say just plan
Bring
plan
cash.
accordingly. Yeah, I would say plan
Yeah.
accordingly because you don't know what group you're meeting up with. You might run into the people who are like, okay, well, let's just split it all. We all had, and even if you're not a drinker, like I might typically get like a non-alcoholic beverage, but those,
Mhm.
they
They
might not have
cost about the same.
because they're like, we still
Mhm.
got to make it pretty for you and and stuff. So, uh, yeah, I think just be mindful if you're going to certain types of events or stay at home, which is my favorite option. Child,
Yep, be inside.
bed.
Cancels all that.
Period. All right. So that's all that we have for this one. And we
Mhm.
will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.